So I can read the worksheet.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey. So I'm scared of my feelings. Cause feelings are not valid as they are. And it won't be in the order that Katie usually
That's
has.
fine. Yeah.
So,
We're just collecting stressful thoughts in any order. It's fine.
right. I need to understand my feelings. My feelings are overwhelming, immense, flooding. Um, my feelings should come gently and slowly, step by step, allowing me to understand them. I don't ever want to feel drowned and fooled with my feelings again. And I sat with want, and it was the first thought that I realized was not true, that I want my feelings to be clear. Yeah. So, yeah. About this one, I understand that it's not true totally. And yeah, I have a kind of a crack here. The first time I realized that it's not true, I cried. Yeah. But the rest of the worksheet and that feelings are not valid as they are, it's still true to me.
Okay. Yeah. So look at what you wrote there, and which statement would you like to question?
Feelings are not valid as they
Yeah.
are, or just not valid.
Okay.
Yeah. I have lots. I just noticed that my mind brings a lot of uh, proofs why it's not valid.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, just to give us a context, is there anything, like when you said some of those proofs, what's one of those images that comes to mind that can help
Oh,
ground
I was
this?
working on an exact situation, actually.
On a what?
So, um,
I didn't hear that word. You're working on what?
on an exact situation.
Aha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So
So
then what
I
is that?
have
Right.
lots of them, plethora of them right
Yes.
now. But there is one really, really strong that's made these worksheets uh, real.
Okay. Cool. So, can you share any of the
Yeah.
situation with us?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. So I'm in my room and I'm realizing that every thought, stressful thought that I have on another person is not true. Every thought. Um, yeah, I'm kind of having, it was a few hours actually. But okay, in the end, I feel this like strong desire to come and say sorry. I don't even understand why I am sorry, but I want to say sorry. I can, like, there are lots of words why I can explain it, but I'm not sure. So basically, it's just I feel gratitude and I feel sorry. And I'm scared to express it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So the thought is that feelings are not valid as they are.
Yeah, my feelings are not valid. And I just noticed through this poet, I want to ask you, like, if this understandable what I'm saying. If you have any question, you're welcome to ask me. So even now, when I express it, I start myself,
I love it. I love it. Yes, I'm relating to what you're saying.
Thank
So
you.
let's let's do the work. Let's do the work. Feelings are not valid. Is that true?
Oh, it's really hard, but yeah, it's a no.
Mhm. So how do you react? What happens when you're sitting in your room there and you're seeing that every stressful thought on another person is not true, and you have this belief that feelings are not valid? How do you react? What happens?
Sorry for interruption. It's just I was like, where this no came from. Sorry. Okay. When I believe it, I don't do what I want to do. I basically I feel like I'm a manager with a difficult client, and I try to um, work on this. So I bring approval. So yeah, it's just crazy thinking. Yeah, and I don't do what I want to do. It's like there are two parts within me. One says why it's valid, another one says why it's not. And they are discussing it while I'm having this feeling and I want to follow it. But instead, I'm just having this discussion in my head. Yeah, and I hate myself for it. So it just when I notice it, so if I'm not listening to them, it becomes louder. If I'm listening and getting involved, it becomes louder. So there is only one way is to listen and, like stay away from that discussion. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just,
Either way, it gets louder.
it's
Yeah.
louder. The only way is, like allow them to speak and not get involved. But it's,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I find it
Yeah.
really, it takes a lot of energy for me.
Got it. So how do you treat your feelings? I guess you've already answered this to some degree, but how do you treat your feelings when you think they're not valid?
Hide them because like it's the feelings feelings are the reason I'm feeling discomfortable, all this thinking in my head. it I blame them for this. I don't trust them. And I am kind of so it's like I treat my feelings as a silly child. So I had on the worksheets like why I want my feelings to be clear and understandable. When I asked myself that, even though I knew that it wasn't true, it's because I can't explain it right, and I will look stupid and naive, silly child, and I'll be ashamed of it if I just come and express myself the way I feel, not understanding it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I can see the stress of this thought, right? Because there's a natural urge to express feelings. And if they're not valid, then what do I do? It's, it's, it stops me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And again, I just noticed that I sit with it right now. I feel lost and I hate myself for this. Like, I need it to be clear.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So, who would you be without this thought? Feelings are not valid.
My first answer was I would be stupid.
Might be true.
Yeah.
What would it be like to be stupid in that way? Try it on. Just experiment. What would it be like?
Let's experiment. So I would start. It's actually something I tried for a while. I um, I would actually do it stupid.
Mhm.
So I mean, like stupidness. I don't remember. It was similar, like courage and stupidity, something like that. I-
Mhm.
I'm not sure. So yeah, I tried on that lifestyle, like stupid things, if they are amazing, are the best things. Yeah. I still treat it as a childish thing. So it's okay. Maybe I'm still with the thoughts.
Yeah, that's still believing it, right?
Yeah.
So, who would you be if you didn't see feelings as childish things or that they're not valid? If you really didn't think it, think of it that way.
Tough thing, like not to treat it seriously, but not to treat it stupid.
hmm
Would I be if it was they were normal?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. It allows me to breathe. And I noticed that it stopped thinking. I just, yeah, it's just quiet, surprisingly quiet.
hmm
And I didn't get used to sleep like that.
When you look at your feelings without this story, what do you see? When you don't think they're not valid, when you just think they're normal, what do you actually see when you look at those feelings?
It's like, so metaphorically, it's like an ocean or a sea. So it just feels right now I enjoy this quietness actually.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it just feels like I'm continuously uh, detailed in the water.
Mhm.
Yeah, um, it flows, and it feels. I don't know. It's not good or bad. It just feels. I feel it, and it's alive. They are alive. And again, it's not. I'm so rarely get into that place. Yeah. Here, it's not important, like any plans or things to do or things to achieve. It's not important at all. Like, it doesn't exist. And yeah, I just realized right now that it's like a conflict within more what's important here. Some goal in the future or what I feel without a thought. When I started to think of the future right now, I lost this.
Yeah,
I get back to
yeah.
that thought.
Interesting. Yeah. So where this came from is this quietness, where this quietness came from was without the thought that feelings are not valid. Like that, it just, the mind became quieter.
Yeah, thank you for getting me back to that.
That's who you are. You are without this thinking, this thought. Mm.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I actually want to say that's when you are, like you are, period.
Period.
Yeah. Because I didn't feel myself as I am. It was just feelings, and I didn't realize it as me.
So this thinking that feelings are not valid keeps the mind in this loop of, oh, I can't trust that. And so it becomes busy and there's no quietness. And without that thought that feelings are not valid, they just are, like you said, in the ocean, you're just sitting in them and it's quieter.
Yeah, when you say something about thoughts right now, I actually don't get it totally. Yeah, I don't get it. I just felt that, yeah, it was really touching. And so basically, I understand that I am unconscious of who I am. And I was identified with my thinking, and I never identified myself as my feelings.
Mm.
Or I did, but I did it not like that, not like right now.
Yeah. Like you're judging your feelings as childish or uh, not, like not allowing that to be also.
Yeah, it's like only child can have feelings. Adult people, they are not feeling.
Right.
They are
That's what happened.
doing things straightly and strictly and
Yes.
effectively, productively.
Yes.
They achieve their goal, you know.
Yes.
They don't
Exactly.
waste their time.
and it has its value, but it's not the whole picture. And what you're experiencing right now, or in this last few minutes, is something very valid, something internal, something real that does not depend on outside plans or accomplishments or productivity.
Would
It's
it
who you
yeah,
are.
would it take too much time if I ask you what's the value of that achievement and stuff like that?
What's the value of achieving? Mhm. I can
From the
say from
point of
my, yeah, I mean, maybe, maybe I should ask you, start with there, and I'm happy to share my experience too. What do you think is the value of achieving, um, as in addition to feeling or being as you're just experiencing?
actually, I don't know. I'm looking at some achievements of my life from this place, and it doesn't feel like achievement.
Hmm.
Like I did that or I got a new result. It's just another way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, it's not, it just feels differently. It's not like there is a track that I go through and life doesn't feel like a stair that I'm walking on. I don't know, like, how
Yes.
can I explain it?
Yeah.
But
One thing, then the next thing, then the next thing, then the
yeah,
next thing. Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't feel like that. It just different. And I'm not, yeah, again, I get this thought. I'm not sure that it's valid. I'm not sure
Right.
that it's valid because the valid is this stair.
So
Valid
it's so,
stair is valid. And that way of living is not. It's just something that I experience. I don't understand it.
yeah. So the mind likes to, um, say that one thing is valid and the other thing is not valid. So it starts out saying the feelings are not valid. And that's not, and then it switches and says, no, now the accomplishment is not valid. And so this is just the mind looking at one part saying, this is it, and then another time you might think this is it. And different people will think this is it in different ways. But the way I like to think of it is that all of this is it. Like, if you have the ocean goes to the depth, it's very quiet in the depth, but on the surface, there's all kinds of activity and waves. And both parts are part of the same ocean. Uh, and so quietness, feelings, internal experience is one part of life, and accomplishing and being practical and connecting with other people is also a valid part of life. And so, like, as the mind expands, as you expand, as stress falls away, and your mind will naturally become what it is naturally, which is expanded, then it can hold both sides, practical and abstract being. They both can be there together.
Mhm.
And so that's, I don't know if that's exactly what you were asking, but those are the thoughts to come up as I hearing
Yeah,
it.
it's really good metaphor about ocean. I can understand it better. Like practically.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
my
makes my thinking or my lifestyle now valid at some point.
yeah. Every wave is really the whole ocean in a way. We're just seeing the tip of the wave, and the ocean has the waves. Like the waves and the ocean, they're the same. Really, it's just how do you want to divide it in your mind? It's a concept. This is waves. This is ocean. That's a concept. In reality, is not the concept. Whole thing comes with waves and quietness and depth, both.
To me, it's more that I don't need to pay much attention on that productivity or what way it comes out, because it will come out anyway.
Yeah, yeah, kind of automatic. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So thank you for creating, that like thread between one and another, because to me it felt like two different things that are not connected to each other, and I
Yeah,
can see the correlation.
yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, is there any turnaround to this statement that we're questioning? Feelings are not valid.
And I'm taking a pause because I don't see any, and still it feels like there's something.
Okay. So, the
Yeah, I
original
just want
statement.
to get back to that.
Yeah.
Can you please ask me again, who would I be without a
Going
thought?
back to question 4? Sure. So, question 4 is who would you be without the thought that feelings are not valid?
Yeah, it feels complete. I don't see anything that I can bring up right now.
Yeah.
So
Once
yeah,
again,
thank you for.
that's that's who you are, right? It's just it's an experience.
Yeah, I think that moment when you said this is when you are, it was really precious to me. I mean, something that allowed me to feel and recognize more conscious, just be conscious about it.
Mm,
That this is me. I felt seen. Yeah. And it's my takeaway here. Yes. Thank you.
you. So it's really good work. Really good work.
Yeah. If
And
you want to share something.
no, I'm just loving it. I'm loving it. And it's it's I'm playing with this turnaround that my thinking about my feelings is not valid. Like that's where the not valid comes in. So when I start thinking about my feelings instead of just being with them, which is what you've been doing here.
Well, it's true. I tried it on. But at the same time, when you said that's when you are, I thought that that's when I am. And it changed everything.
I mean, in a way, we're looking at something even quieter than feelings. Feelings, they can get loud too. They can become strong, like even overwhelming. Um, but underneath, just like thinking can become very loud and it also can become very quiet. But underneath all of it, who am I without the thought, really? It's almost beyond. It's just being. It's just being.
Well, this quietness feels like that. And I
That's
didn't
who you are.
realize it. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Feelings come and go, thoughts come and go, achievements come and go. But that being is, that's home. That's who I am.
yeah. Like right now, I enjoy these poses. Like this is fulfilled, silent.
Yes. That we can say is who you are. Precisely that. Okay. Thank you again. And thank you everyone for listening and being a part of this. And if anyone wants to share something before we close, I'm happy to hear as well. Nothing to say on silence.
I just want to give you a big hug.
Oh, I feel it. Thank you.
Thank you.